Yeah, it's off.
Oh, we're live, baby. We're live.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Bird. Yeah.
Current events discussion. Oh,
What?
we're getting set up, everybody.
We're in.
Yeah. There's no one in.
That's okay. We do these sometimes. I kind of like just the impromptu. Just we're live. Before we get started, though, we need to pick a bourbon.
Yeah. It's been.
What do you think here?
Just do the antique. Why not?
Oh, there's not a lot. There's not a ton left in there.
Well,
What else? Oh, get the Kentucky Spirit. Can you reach that? Yeah. Oh, those chairs. Oh man, those chairs. Oh, we did it. That's nice. Nice. Good pick. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Are we mixing?
no.
No, you just.
There's so much ice in that.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm out of bourbon cubes. All right. Welcome back, everybody. It's been about a week or two. We've been pretty busy.
Very busy.
We'll be off next week too, but then we'll be back. Starting the first week of June, we'll be back, action packed. I'll be traveling next week. We couldn't do this last week, but we've been sticking to the once a week, so it hasn't been too bad. Today will be fun. If you've watched this podcast, you know sometimes we do a current events segment, and there's been so many events that have taken place over the last few months. We're gonna talk all about them today. So I have some good ones. I have some sad ones.
I don't like these because I don't like giving my opinion on stuff.
These aren't like, well, one of them's political.
No, I don't care. I just don't like.
So we're going to talk all about what's happened in the outdoors the past few months. And I got one story that you're going to love. And we're going to talk about it. But first, click that subscribe button.
Not enough of you people are subscribed.
We've got although we're racking up the iTunes
Getting
what? You're good.
Yeah, my volumes are. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We're racking up the iTunes reviews though.
Yeah,
So
that's
keep
good.
doing that. Any other things we need to talk about before I start pulling things up here?
No, we've just been so busy.
What are our plans? What are our backpacking plans here?
We
We got the Colorado trip sorted.
Yeah.
That's a done deal.
Yeah.
We're starting to finalize the dates for the we have finalized the dates for the TRT, but we're going to move on to that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to squeeze out a trip here like in June. I'd like to do that. Although June is without a doubt one of the worst months to backpack.
It's awful.
It just depends.
Here.
It just depends the weather, but it's hot. It's full overgrowth, full bugs, tons of people.
You know what I want to do in June? Like a few times. I just want to go to, do our normal. I just want to do some fun cooking.
Yeah, we need to do that. Hot tent season's over though.
Let's get the hot tent out.
Oh my God. Sweat Lodge. I'm trying to think, would you use it? Obviously without the hot tent.
No.
You wouldn't use the teepee?
No.
Bug netting?
No, I can't wait to
You just
get
wake
into a
up in ticks.
I can't wait to get into a hammock. I'm so oversleeping on the ground.
You missing the hammock?
Yeah.
Are you going to try and hammock the TRT?
No.
Not even going to try? I bet it's feasible. I bet you could do it.
No.
Right?
No, I don't think I'm going to do it. It sucks.
Other big events. Andy and I are making our bold return to the office next month.
Next month. I'm next week.
That's next month.
Okay, fair. Yeah.
How you feel about it?
Fine.
Are you looking forward to it? I'm looking forward to certain aspects of it.
Yeah. I had to buy,
Seeing your
I had
coworkers.
to buy clothes.
That does suck. I will say, without a doubt, one of the worst things about going back to the office is having to dress like a normal human being again.
And we have a pretty laid back dress
And we
policy.
have a good dress code.
But I've definitely learned.
Like you can wear jeans.
Yeah, but I've definitely learned through this that jeans still suck.
Do you remember the days where we couldn't wear jeans?
Yeah.
and then it went to jeans, and now like at the beginning of the pandemic,
it's gone back and forth a few times.
really at the beginning of the pandemic, I just like loaded up on joggers.
Oh yeah,
and mesh for because it was the summer.
I got 3 pairs of joggers. I did half of the pandemic with 1 pair of joggers.
Oh my god. Back to the office.
Back
to real life. Although COVID's still a thing. I mean,
it's done.
Did I tell you about the wedding I went to this weekend?
I mean, I saw pictures. It looked good.
So, go to the wedding. It was normal.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You know,
It was weird. It was good though. I mean, it was good to have some semblance of normality. Whether or not that was endangering people, I don't know. I'm vaccinated. I don't care.
I will say it's been interesting because I'm still confused on like what stores you don't have to
And
wear.
that is a problem. I mean, there's been no, I mean,
So like I'll go to like one store and like half the people will be wearing masks.
see, we're in this tweener time where it's super irritating because CDC has came out and said, you know, if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask anywhere, but obviously nobody knows who's vaccinated and who's not vaccinated. Places like Costco are saying, F it, still wear the masks. Some places are like, we don't care. Depending on where you go, whether it's unfortunately, whether it's a liberal or conservative establishment will dictate who's wearing masks and who's not. So we're in this really weird time
Just like
where like, I don't want to wear a mask, but I'll wear a mask if that's the law, but I don't want to.
I just want to go to Costco.
And it's like, just, we're either wearing the masks or we're not wearing the masks. Okay. Like, let's just make a rule. And like, yeah, you go into Costco, you got to wear the mask. You step out, you go to Field and Stream, no one's wearing the mask. So it's just like, I don't know what's happening. And I don't know what to do.
And so some stores now, instead of saying like, you like posting it, what their rules are on it.
Lost the video. Keep talking.
Oh, they'll just remove whatever signage that they had. So like, it just,
That's even worse.
I know.
'Cause I don't know what's happening.
Oh God, this camcorder.
It's not the camcorder.
Oh, it's the software.
It's the software.
Oh man,
It's not the camcorder.
sorry. This always happens at the beginning, and then
happens in the beginning when nobody's here.
there's 50 people in there right now.
Okay.
Sorry,
people. We'll get there. Keep talking. Any comments?
Yeah, good amount of people. 50 people in there. Restless is here trolling us already.
They're looking at a still shot of your.
Yeah, they're looking at a still shot of me and you talking. You can.
No, it's all good. We'll be back. We're almost there.
Yeah.
Move your hand.
Oh, there we go.
All right.
Okay, cool.
All right. We're back.
Okay, we're back.
And we're back.
Should we put up the super chat menu? No, don't do it. No, don't.
I have it. Where is it? Menu? Okay. Wait. Oh, wait. And it's back.
No, take it down. We're not doing super chats tonight, folks.
Okay. That's not a camcorder thing.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. All right. Okay. Masks. I don't know when to wear them, when not to wear them.
All right, moving on from masks.
Okay.
let's jump into the.
Okay, we'll jump into the first current event. So I have a bunch, but first off, some of these are kind of old. They're from like February, March, because we haven't discussed current events in a while.
Yeah, that's fine.
But they're all related to the outdoors. So here's the first one. I don't know if you've seen this, and we'll obviously pull them up here. So can you see it on the computer?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and this is something that was kind of big a couple months ago. As you can see, this article, I think is from February or March, but this year has seen an insanely, and then the causes are actually somewhat interesting and kind of what you'd expect, but real bad avalanche season this year.
You know what I found out too? Somebody in my high school class died from an avalanche.
Who? Do I know him?
I don't think so. I don't want to say the name, but
Where?
I want to say Jackson Hole. Backcountry skiing.
So do you know?
This was a while ago, not this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is very sad, first
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
But do you know, it's just interesting because the reason I bring this up is this all comes back to COVID. Do you know one of the reasons why they think?
Let me tell you. Let me guess.
Okay, guess.
Not enough backcountry skiing to pack it down?
That's a good guess. It's kind of the opposite.
Too much? Because
So-
more people are getting outdoors and then freeing up shelves.
So the biggest thing is because of the lack of ski resorts being open, people are going into the backcountry.
That's interesting. And then you probably
That's what this article states.
And then you probably have like in some places where they like, depending on like the location, but people will do like active avalanche control.
Right.
Resources.
Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting too in Tahoe. I mean, everywhere you drove around, people were backcountry skiing.
And I bring this up because I know I saw that when I was out there, and when I was in Breckenridge talking to my buddy who lives out there, he was talking about, first off, did I tell you how many pairs of skis he has? He has 7 pairs of skis.
I was gonna guess 6.
Because he's like, I got my backcountry skis, I got my powder skis, I got my groomer skis. But we were talking about how in that area, Summit County, there's just been a lot of people backcountry skiing because, well, luckily their ski resorts stayed open, but they're at reduced capacity.
Yeah.
So all these people, so that's the main reason they think this is happening. And then the other obvious reason is in certain parts of the country, this article specifically talks about Utah, the snowpack. I think Tahoe's the same way. The snowpack has been much higher. So it's like snowpack mixed with a lot more people being out there equals death. So kind of a lot of these current events revolve around people dying.
Yeah, that's sad. There's a funny comment. Camp Chair Chris says Bryce is still hungover.
First off, I want people to know we did give Bryce $120 for coming over.
Yeah.
We gave him the super chat. We gave him some gas money.
Yeah.
And then also Bryce is coming to Colorado with us.
Yep, the gang is getting back together.
Oh yeah, the Colorado gang minus Red is getting back together. That was really fun, and I want to thank everybody who came and hung out, and especially everyone who donated.
Yeah.
That call-in show, we didn't. We should have had more call-ins. We probably only had like 5 or 10 people call in.
Every time we get better.
This was kind of the opposite of the first show, where it was just a maelstrom of people calling in and us not knowing how to handle it. This way we got, and I thought it was insane. We literally flashed the call-in number on the screen for 4 seconds, and we had hundreds of people calling us.
I wonder if there was like a Reddit thread that was like, here was the number.
Post the number.
But
I want to thank everyone for coming to that. Yeah. That was really fun. The people who called in all had great stories. And if you don't know what we're talking about, you can watch the replay and everything.
And then just a couple of things about the money too. So Kyle's definitely getting a chair at some point.
I feel like we have to give him one because we have a chair fund, but I just disagree ethically with this decision.
People specifically donated for that, and then the other the funds will be used for upgrading AV equipment. So
we might have to get a third one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you. And maybe we should upgrade this freaking camera because it's Steve's I don't think it's the camera, though. I think it's the software.
Yeah.
Anyway, a bunch of people dying in the backcountry. But to be honest, I mean, I still think people are backcountry skiing right now.
Yeah, for sure.
My buddy in Breck sent me a picture. This is still covered in snow out there. Yeah. Pretty insane. All right, next current event. I do have some spicy ones up here. All right.
I saw. This was awful. I was reading about this.
I wanted to save this one for the end, but I just clicked on the tab. So this is
that's terrible.
This is terrible. This happened like 2 days ago. Yeah. So if you're not familiar with this story, China actually has a budding marathon and ultra marathon scene. There was 100K. I don't know the specific area of China it was in. Did you read the details of this?
A little bit.
This is a little messed up.
Yeah, it was a little sketchy.
Yeah, it was real sketchy. So 100K ultra marathon race. So 100K is it's like 62 miles. A lot of famous ultra marathoners in it, by the way. It started and the weather was like 80 degrees.
Yeah.
Like people in t-shirts, tank tops, like typical ultra marathon. Now, this isn't a part of China that's mountainous. Obviously, like most ultra marathons have some aspect of trail running in them. And it went south. 21 people died. That's insane.
And from exposure too.
So what happened was they started the race. I could not, obviously the Chinese government, I cannot find any information on like when in the race this started happening from a mileage standpoint, but all these runners got up into the mountains and just like it wasn't snow. It was freezing rain and wind whipped through. And these people are dressed like this, like t-shirts and mesh.
And then you're climbing the mountain, so you're all sweaty.
You're sweaty.
Yeah. And then
21 people died. Like that is more people that have died at a race event probably in the last consecutive like 10 years in this country.
Yeah.
That's so many people.
Yeah. That's just like, that's just such a high number.
21 people, almost 24 people died at a race.
Yeah.
That's insane.
The weather must have come in quickly.
You know, I was trying to figure this one out in my head because I was like, okay, the story here, and you know, it's China, so we're getting the story we're told by China. Whether or not it's truthful or not, you don't know. But it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, first off, you should know weather's coming in, right? If you're a race official, I would assume. And if you're planning a race, how do you not understand that if you're planning a race through the mountains at this time of the year, this could happen?
Yeah, I think.
I don't understand. I feel like there's something going on that we don't know about.
Yeah, so I think that this is going to sound really terrible, but like.
Nice. Let's hear it.
Yeah, this is really bad. But like, okay, like weather comes in and one person dies from exposure.
But we get 21 people.
21, like what happened?
So to me, that maybe they but it's also if you actually like diagnose this, it's an ultra marathon, right? So you have people
spread out,
spaced way out,
and they're just they're exhausted, their body is beat down, and they're sweaty. So they're just gonna immediately get hypothermic, and they're probably wet from like.
How do you not look at the weather and know this is coming in? That's what makes no sense to me.
I don't know.
And if you're a race director and you've got athletes on course, obviously, I mean, the one thing they say in this article is that they dispatched 700 people to go find them because they had to round up 150 people. I mean, 21 died, but 150 more got like injured or exposed to the elements. So like, what level of clusterfuck was this?
The maximum.
I mean, like,
level.
I saw this and I was like, I surely thought this was a mistake or something. Like almost 24 people dying at a race. Like, it's just, that's unheard of. I mean, having one person die of some sort of cardiovascular event at a race, you'd be like, okay, I can see that. It's a stressful situation. Mm-hmm. You know, people do have cardiovascular events running marathons. That's why they have EMTs like all over the place. I get that this is an ultra marathon, so you're not, just because of the way the course is set up, it's in the mountains on a trail. You can't have people everywhere. But I just do not understand how. I mean, there were probably a few hundred people entered in this.
Yeah.
So 10% of the people died. It's insane.
Yeah, that's like yeah.
And there was a couple of very famous ultra marathoners in this that had run like UTMB and like very, very seasoned professional ultra marathoners running on trails, and they died. So I just don't. It must, and they don't. I was like, okay, snow, but they just talk about wind and freezing rain, and I get that if you're dressed for 80 degrees and wind, but I thought it's insane.
So there needs to be something doesn't add up there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like maybe like, I would think in like an ultra marathon of this size, like you're gonna have stations set up, and you're gonna have like,
right,
the ones that I see, like you have stations, you have emergency crews up. You know, obviously
dispersed at least.
Dispersed. And yeah, but there's also like the problem, like the weather comes in and nobody's prepared. And then like you have some people up there and they have some emergency gear.
But then I was like, okay, if it's like, if they get like a foot of snow in an hour, I can see how getting to people is difficult, but they said it was freezing rain. So I don't know. Things don't add up. It's terrible. This is we're going from like the oldest piece of news I have to the newest piece of news I have. So like the running community is responding to this, and it's obviously a tragedy, but I mean, in my head, this is a completely avoidable tragedy.
Yeah.
You know,
I was just going to say there's, what's that ultra runner's name in the US? Jamil
Corey.
Yeah. Jamil Corey. He did.
Thank God none of our star ultra marathoners were out there. If they would have killed Courtney DeWalter, we'd have World War III on our hands.
No. He attempted Barclay. And
And the weather's way worse there.
yeah, he recorded it. And there was a time when weather came in and they were unprepared.
I could see that there.
And he and like 4 other people were huddled together under a rock trying to stay warm.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
if any race is going to kill somebody, it's going to be that one.
Yes.
But even that they don't. So like what I would love to know the specifics. This is very fresh. First, the government of China keeps a lid on all this kind of stuff. So I don't know if we'll ever really know what happens, but it is a tragedy. And in my mind, proper planning and having crews out there spaced out at the right time, I feel like this is something that should be totally avoidable.
Yeah, you gotta watch the weather, and if you're gonna be like, if you're expecting low temps and rain and high winds coming in through the mountains, then you're either getting the athletes to a point where they're prepared for that, or you're calling it.
Right, exactly. So this is the most downer one I have. The first 2, okay, I didn't mean to start these with the first 2 about people dying.
And just like so many people dying.
I have a happy one. I can't see the tab though. Can you see my mouse? Oh, there we go. Okay, this is did you see this one? This is an Ohio specific one.
Yeah, I did see this one. I didn't see this specific article, but I heard about this one.
So, this is an Ohio one, so it's not like sexy, but there has been an increase. I bring this up because do you know where this is?
No.
So if you're seeing this, this is a sole case of seeing this certain black bear in this certain part of Ohio, which is not uncommon, but I bring this up because I was like, okay, black bear. And shout out to Lisa. She sent me this. I saw it on the news. I hadn't seen the actual article and she sent it to me. So shout out to her. But this is, do you know, like from where we're sitting right now, do you know how far away this is?
I mean, Licking County isn't that far.
It's 39 miles.
Yeah. I mean,
this is closer than Zaleski.
Yeah.
Significantly.
Yeah. Good.
I mean, is it good?
Yeah, I'm happy black bears are coming back.
Yeah, I'm happy they're coming back, but I always enjoy the aspect of camping and not having to care about it.
maybe we got to rethink the critter line.
I mean, we are not prepared to hot tent in these areas. We've got Philly cheesesteak stuff all over the bottom of our, where we go backpacking is further away than where this is.
I know.
So
I'm of course there's going to be a lot more, with them coming back, there's going to be a lot more interactions with humans and we're going to have to manage them and that's going to become an issue. But I'm glad, I think I'm a big supporter of the native wildlife coming back.
I am pro native wildlife coming back. I don't see how you can be anti that.
Wow. The people in Colorado don't like those wolves.
That's the ranching lobby.
I know.
You don't mess with the ranching lobby.
What about the corn lobby?
Now in Ohio specifically, obviously black bears used to be populated throughout here.
Great comment. Mike Jones, that Bigfoot is only 39 miles away.
Yeah. Great point. We were told anywhere where there's black bear, there can be Bigfoot. So let's go. I saw this article and we've been seeing bear sightings in Ohio for the last 5 years. But when I Google Maps where this was, I was like, oh shit, that is close.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to have bears back. I hate bears. It's really nice to backpack and not have to worry about bears from a scent and food aspect. Yeah. You just get lazy. So now the question is, are when we go, because we're going to go to somewhere in Ohio next month, are we taking full bear precautions?
I don't know. Probably.
I mean, we never do.
I mean, full bear precautions.
I mean, Bryce isn't even taking them in the Smoky Mountains, so.
But full bear precautions is the only difference is we just hang our food.
Right. But it's still something we do not do in Ohio.
Right. But it's such an easy thing to do. So it's not that big of a deal.
It's not that big of a deal. But it is nice to not have to worry about and I don't not worry about physically being harmed by a black bear whatsoever. I worry about them destroying my food bag. That's waking me up in the middle of the night, just super inconvenience things. So anyway, that is really close. Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited. Except I'll say that and then we'll be out there and see one and be like, I don't feel like seeing them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I got to check my tabs. Oh, not that tab. Hold on, I got some more. I got way more. I just can't see my mouse from this far
Go
away.
right.
Tab.
Go right.
Oh, okay, that's the distance, by the way.
Does that have your address in there?
No, it doesn't. It's just to Columbus. That's how far away it is, folks. To give you some context, this dark green down to the right, that's where we backpack. So it's way close. All right, where's my cursor?
Here, give it to me. I can see.
Yeah, just click on the tab to the right of it. I have a spicy current event coming up. Nope, you're on that screen.
I know. Hold on, I'm moving over.
Yep. This is what happens when we don't have a production assistant. Other way, left.
I know. I can't see it over there now.
Yeah, because it's tiny. I should have moved the monitor closer.
Here.
Give me the mouse. Did you fail at this?
I saw it.
I have my glasses over here too. The tabs are really small. There it is.
There it is.
Okay. Okay. This is the one I wanted to talk about. Have you heard? This is spicy.
Is this the oil pipeline?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know about this. Oh, this is there's so much hate online.
This is. I meant to start with this one. This is by far I had some political ones. I shelved them for another podcast because I didn't want to get all political. So if you are not familiar with this story, the ATC sold out hard.
My question is, what are they going to do with that money?
They talk about it.
Yeah. What?
You know what they're not doing?
Buying more land?
Well, they actually might be doing that, but it's not going towards like the maintenance of the trail itself.
Yeah.
So this is what happened.
Insurance.
The ATC got paid to the tune of about $20 million. There's a pipeline going through, as you can see where it is down there. Southern AT, obviously, Virginia area. A pipeline company. Apparently this has been happening for years. I mean, long story short, the pipeline company paid the ATC $19.5 million for them to not fight this pipeline. And so rightfully so, the ATC is getting, and we can talk about this because I see where they're coming from, but from the surface, this isn't a good look for them.
No. So was this a situation where they were probably going to win anyways, but they just wanted to
Absolutely. The pipeline was going to happen anyway. And okay, so first off, this is what the ATC says. Right. They're like, the pipeline is going to happen anyway. Let's get some money. Use it for a good cause. This pipeline is bisecting the AT. I mean, it's going right across the AT. It'll obviously go under it. It's not going to like go on the trail. And then the pipeline itself will run along the AT for many miles. Not now this article talks, it's not going to be like right next to it. Yeah. It might are truly correct. And we're good. If it is truly correct in that this pipeline was going to happen anyway, and there was nothing they could do to stop it, and it was either get $0 or get $20 million. Okay. I mean, I get that, but then I was like, okay, what's the 20 million going towards?
Well, I don't necessarily get the $20 million.
Maybe, I mean, if it's between $0 and 20, I'm taking the 20.
Yeah, but there could be something to be said about like making a stand against it, even though you're going to lose.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not a good look.
I know. So like, I get that.
You have conservancy in the name.
I know. I know.
I mean, it's just so, it's tone deaf in that regard.
Yeah, it's just how much money are you worth to shut up?
Yeah, and so obviously the proponents of this are literally what we're saying, like take a stand. Like don't just take the money. Like take a stand, fight for it. I mean, I think we can all agree that we would prefer not to have pipelines bisecting the Appalachian Trail.
If you want some experience hiking with old pipelines, come to Ohio.
Well, there's another current event that I don't have a tab for, but I would like to discuss.
Yeah, it's always okay. So I crap on it right now because Ohio has turned some old like mining areas into like outdoorsy areas, but still the equipment's all around and it's kind of annoying. And the pipes still run along the trails.
The people who hike the AT and backpackers like us will almost not benefit whatsoever from a pipeline being there. Now, I do want to talk about pipelines in general because of what happened a few weeks ago with the ransomware attack.
Yeah.
And when a group of hackers shuts down a pipeline to the southeast United States for 5 days and causes hundreds of millions of dollars. So I'm saying pipelines are important economically. Yeah. I'm not going to like crap all over that.
I mean, if people are going to have a reliance on fossil fuels, you got to have a way to get it to them efficiently. And if you don't want pipelines, then you're going to pay exorbitant costs for shipping it to you.
Right.
Like,
or face like shortages.
Right. So no matter how you feel about pipelines, whether you're, for or against it or whatever, if I guarantee most people are going to complain if the cost of fuel goes up.
For sure.
So
it's like when a conservancy takes oil money, it's just not a good look.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see both sides. If in reality it is 100% true that the ATC was not going to block this thing whatsoever, then I get it. You got to take the money, and they talk about what they're doing with the money. I think they are purchasing parts of land, and I'm hoping that it all goes towards the trail, or maybe the ATC people are just like flush with cash right now.
No. Board members got to get some big bonuses.
Yeah, that's why, dude, when I saw that, I'm like, well, the ATC board members just got some money, because damn well those people got some money from this.
Yeah.
I mean, they might not discuss it, but the high ups at the ATC got some money from this.
I'm just going to put out...
I'm not that naive.
I'm just going to put out a general statement, and I have experience with this.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Trying to find my coasters. Keep talking.
Yeah. If you give people a lot of money, I don't care what your morals are, you're going to be tempted to do things.
I have no doubt that some of this money is going to line the pockets of people.
Yep.
No doubt about it.
For sure.
Hey, we should have got jobs at the ATC. I'll take $1 million to look the other way. Get that oil. I just saw this. This happened like in March, so this is still a little old. I just saw this and I was like, what?
Yeah. There's been a lot of debate. I'm in the camp of like, I totally understand that it may have been a losing battle, but I think you should have made it. Like, if that's what you're about, you should make a stand.
No, I know. I know. Yeah. But it's that or $20 million. It's that or like a jet ski.
Jet ski.
I don't know what they're buying with it. I mean, I have no doubt.
all the board members.
Yeah, everyone just rolls up and like everyone just has jet skis behind their cars right now.
They have Ford Raptors.
They have like I Heart Natural Gas or like I Heart Fossil Fuel shirts. They've all got Ford Raptors.
Ford Raptors pulling jet skis.
Oh my God. No, this article, I read this article like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
It does talk about how they're going to use the money. Whatever. It's not a great look.
We're going to build a shelter. Okay, that's $10,000.
Right.
All right, next. Maybe 20.
But what would you do? So if you had $20 million purely to improve a trail, what would you do?
Well,
would you build shelters?
So no. What you would have to do. So you have different
trail maintenance.
No, hold on.
Signage.
You have different groups that manage sections of the trail. So you probably want to allocate funds under.
Is that the case with the AT?
Yeah, you have different groups that manage.
They do. Okay.
Like volunteer groups.
Okay. Probably. So are they getting jet skis?
Well, if it was me, I mean, because the trail is so long, I would probably allocate funds for specific purposes, but then you'd have to have oversight to make sure that the money was being spent that way.
And not on jet skis.
What
about if we used $20 million and we used it purely to give people PBRs on the trail?
Just permanent trail magic.
For 5 hiking seasons, that's like That's what, $2 million? No, that's $4 million a hiking season. We use $4 million, and it's pancakes and PBRs at every hostel.
Yeah, somebody brought up an interesting thing here too about like what I think this is where it's leading. This, like, it says it's from COAROAS. I don't know how to pronounce it. Core or whatever.
Chorus?
I don't know. Dovetail this with the need to have trail towns and communities that are supported by various industries. So maybe some of that.
Good point.
Yeah. What if some of that $20 million could go to support the trail towns?
It's not. I can tell you, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in this article. They talk about it's like buying parts of land. It's not going towards the trail towns.
Let's revisit the PBR situation.
How much PBR could you buy?
I have an idea. Okay. So you register for your through hike, right? With the ATC, and you get like a little like electronic ped, and then every time
a what?
A ped, like personal like electronics device.
What do you mean by ped?
Those little electronic peds, like that you can scan,
like a RFID tag,
kind of
like a badge.
Sure, but
I've never heard this term ped.
Oh, that's what we used to
I've heard performance enhancing drug.
No.
Like steroids, like A-Rod.
We used to call them peds. So, anyways, you get one of those. Or
I still don't know what this is, but we'll continue. Just you get a device.
You get a device.
Okay.
Or you could put it on your phone.
Okay.
Probably better it's on your phone.
Okay.
And then every time you come to like a gap or a road crossing, there's a PBR vending machine, and you just swipe your phone.
Okay, like an RFID tag. Yeah. So we stock every single road crossing on the AT with refrigerated vending machines of PBR with the 20 mil.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to think, if we had 20 million to improve a trail, what would you do? You would do trail maintenance with it, right? Well, on the AT, you'd probably upgrade some of the shelters, I'm assuming.
There's probably some opportunity for shelter upgrades, depending. I don't know all the sections, but there's probably certain sections that need some like construction work done. Like
trail maintenance.
Yeah, but like trail, like maybe like bridges built or boardwalks or stuff like that. Yeah. And you know what you should be doing with that money?
What?
Is you should be taking most of it and investing it.
Now, I doubt the ATC has a finance wing, but yes, you should take 10 mil, invest it.
They should just be working off the dividends of that every year, and that should be what's allocated.
Do you think the ATC has a CFO? No, I don't think they do.
They've got Ford Raptors and jet skis.
I don't think they have a complex capital investment strategy.
Well, no, I guarantee
they're not a bank.
I guarantee you.
They get money though, right?
Oh yeah.
Like donations and stuff?
Donate and you pay fees.
There's no way they invest it.
Oh yeah, for sure they're going to invest that.
They don't invest any money currently. There's no way.
This is just like turning.
We're turning this into a for-profit capital enterprise right now. I mean, they took 20 mil. Why not?
I mean, what you should do is they're going to have to put that money through a financial institution, and no way that financial institution is just going to be like,
it's 20 mil. Hey. No, but you're making the corrupt. You know what? If you're going to take 20 mil from an oil and gas company, you are a capitalist. Okay. Get the conservancy out of the way. You are a capitalist enterprise, and capitalist enterprises invest their money and make money off of it. So yeah, 10 mil for the PBR PED device, drones carrying PBR,
and maybe 60 grand per board member for their Ford Raptors.
Is that how much a Ford Raptor is?
Entry level, I think. So maybe 80 with a jet ski.
How many board members do you think they have?
I don't know.
Okay, the 10 board members each get 60 grand. That's about $500,000 there. 10 mil invested into whatever, index funds, bonds, whatever.
Dogecoin. 10 million.
What if they come out? All right, it's all going to Dogecoin. Like the 10 million is invested purely in crypto. Did you know? I was looking up what I call shit coins. They're like
I saw
there's one called ass coin.
There's diarrhea coin.
And my personal favorite, cum rocket. And I was like, dude, SpaceX should name their next model after that or something. Cum rocket, CUM.
Yeah. You know what they should do too is they should also
an ass coin.
Yeah.
10 million in ass coin. These are real cryptocurrencies, people.
I also like the idea of instead of just PBR vending machines, how about like resupply vending machines where they have like tuna packets and pasta sides and then a PBR.
So all jokes aside, the idea of using that money to bolster trail angels and resupplies, I think is a good idea.
Yeah.
I think honest to God, if I had money to improve the AT, I think you would definitely put a lot towards shelters, because that's kind of what the AT is about.
Well, you'd have to, I don't know anything. Like, is the shelter system, does it need work? Do they need new shelters? Do they need more shelters?
I don't know. These are great questions.
Yeah.
Or put it in cum rocket.
I like the Ford Raptor and jet skis.
Well, obviously the ATC members, I would love to be the bankers for those ATC members to be like, all right, what's going on? Any large cash deposits? Okay. Anyway, like it or not, the ATC got paid, and hopefully they use that money for the trail. we've got a happy story next.
Yeah.
Now this one happened about a month or two ago. Did you see this one when it happened? It's actually a pretty insane story.
I don't know this.
So this is in California. I forget the specific ski resort. This is not a skiing related story. This happened in the mountainous region of California. Somebody got lost, and
Shocker.
so many people getting lost now.
Yeah.
Somebody got lost. They had cell service. I don't know how you get lost with cell service. Kind of glossed over that. Anyway, what you're looking at right now is a picture that this dude was able to get out of his location. The sheriff's department posted that picture online on, I think, their Twitter. So first off, there's a whole group of people whose hobby it is to take pictures and using Google Maps and Google Satellites.
Yeah, they're called neckbeards.
You're not wrong.
I know. They have nothing else to do.
Anyway, there's a whole genre of hobbyists whose their thing is they find pictures people post online and they use a multitude of sources, satellite imagery, and they try to find where the picture was taken. They saved this dude's life, though.
I know. That's awesome.
So this guy got lost. You're looking at the picture he was able to snap. Sheriff's department posted it, and they found him. It took days, but he didn't die.
Yeah.
I thought it was a cool story.
Yeah, no, that's really cool.
It's cool because it just highlights how we can use technology in a positive way to help people.
Yeah.
This dude should have been carrying a spot. I don't understand. I need to read this more. I don't understand how, if he was able to get picture out, how they couldn't GPS him. I think he had a blip of service and got the picture out. Kind of a terrifying picture if you look at it. I mean, his feet are dangling. Yeah. But also, how incredible is it that some dude found this dude's location from that picture right there?
Yeah.
So I was trying to think about this. All right, so what are you doing? You're looking at he's got that little canyon in front of him, right? And
why did he choose that picture?
I think that's all he could get out from a cell service standpoint. He could get that, and I think he's stuck on a ledge, dude.
This is a dumb question, but if that's the picture you're gonna get out, shouldn't you try to take a picture of more of what the view looks like?
I actually think that's a pretty good picture because it shows the valley in front of him. It shows the terrain of the opposite side of the valley, and then behind that valley you can see other mountains. So and then obviously right in front of him, right in front of his feet, you can see some semblance of a rock formation. So I don't think it's that bad from that. What are you doing? Are you shooting a selfie? No. Or are you just trying to get a pano?
No, I try to get a view of the peaks, because once you could get the peaks, people can start naming those.
You know what I'm doing?
And then they could focus helicopter searches or something.
I'm going into Google Maps, zooming out, and taking a screenshot of the GPS beacon.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
I think isn't there some way to enable GPS tagging on photos too?
Yeah, that's actually the default. So that clearly wasn't the case there. I need to read more. I read this story about a month and a half ago. I need to read more about how he got the picture out. That might be a crucial part of the story. But the actual story is some dude, some neckbeard. No, legit hobby.
Yeah.
Don't let Andy talk shit about it.
No. I mean, it saved a person's life.
It saved this dude's life. Yeah. I just thought it was kind of a feel-good story.
Yeah.
We had a lot of stories towards the beginning of this where people were dying.
His legs look rough.
He was out there for a long time. I mean, this was not I snapped this thing and I was out here for an afternoon. He was out here for days and days.
Yeah, and he got lucky too, because just going back to that exposure situation, luckily California's dry as hell.
But dude, what are the odds that some dude who's scrolling the internet sees this picture and is like, hey, you know what? I'm going to save this dude's life. What are the odds that happens? It's so slim. And then the other odds that this dude who's randomly scrolling the internet, who's randomly into doing this as a hobby, is able to pinpoint your location. Now, he wasn't able, if you ever read the story, he was not able to pinpoint his exact location.
At least to put search crews around.
He was able to pinpoint the area based on what we were talking about, those canyons behind him, and the search crew was able to find him. So,
and people are saying in the comments that the geotagging was disabled on his phone.
Yeah, it couldn't be. You can't make it too easy.
Yeah, I know.
I just thought, like, what are the odds that all these things line up that this person gets to live?
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Maybe I should be cruising Twitter. It's kind of a fun, like a fun challenge. Like, if I showed you a picture, could you find out where it is?
No.
Like, if you knew it was a certain state.
I mean, if you
just like a picture of like a green tunnel,
if you
you're dead.
I mean, if you send me a picture of a bunch of like granite-looking mountains in California, I'm like, okay, you're probably in the Sierra somewhere.
Right. Yeah, so you got that. I think that like that white rock face in front of his foot, I think that is the thing that the dude found that narrowed that location.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good story.
No, it's a great story. I mean, it's pretty rare for somebody to find you like that. So
the last story, and I'm not going to pull up the link because trying to have us figure this out without glasses is stupid. But the last thing I wanted to show you was, because you brought it up earlier when you talked about Ohio. So if you're not familiar, a few years ago, Ohio opened up aspects of Wayne National Forest to the natural gas industry, specifically to fracking. And it was kind of a big deal. I'll get this off the screen. Yeah. It was kind of a big deal. I mean, so in Ohio, we got one national forest. Okay. We have one national forest. Just let us have it.
Just let us have it.
Now, in defense, there are, massive swaths of that national forest that nobody uses. So
but that doesn't give people the right to just.
Well, the industrialists are like, hey, you're not using it. We can create jobs. We can create profit.
I get
we
it.
can bring an industry. Like, let us use it. That went through. That's no longer happening.
Nice.
There was a big article on it that the certain specific aspects of Wayne National Forest that were open to fracking and other things, it's not happening.
Yeah, I get that there's different policies.
I'm sure it only happened because they concluded it was not economically viable to do it. I'm sure it had nothing to do with public sentiment.
Right. I get that there's different policies on like public lands and like what you can and can't do depending on the type of public land. But if you're gonna put land aside specifically for that, like what's the point of doing that if you're just going to open it up to be fracked?
And my whole point is, as a taxpayer and as a capitalist, guess what, hombre? My tax dollars have paid for the management and the maintenance of that land.
Yep.
If you're going to profit off of that land that my tax dollars have been paying for the last 100 years, like not my tax dollars, but tax dollars, like the freaking taxpayer should be benefiting from that. Mm-hmm. Like it is BS that these companies can go into public land and profit for it, and the taxpayer who has paid the bill for that land throughout the entirety of this country gets nothing back. Like that's BS.
Yeah.
Do I get my tax dollars back that they used for it?
Well, how did they stop it?
I don't know. I don't know.
You're probably right. Unfortunately, it probably
wasn't I can guarantee you it just wasn't profitable enough. And that's why. Yeah. As much as I hate to admit it now, Ohio used to be a swing state back in the day. Ohio ain't a swing state anymore. Yeah. Ohio's a red state, and it doesn't make sense to me because the conservative platform is one of conservation, generally speaking, but not here. Drill it. Another beacon of good news. Once again, I'm not going to pull up the article, but if you're familiar with what was happening in the Arctic Wildlife Refuge in Alaska during the Trump presidency, so the Trump presidency opened up vast parts of the Arctic Wildlife Refuge for drilling.
And that was
thanks, Trump.
But by the way, there was there was strong bipartisan dissent on that.
Yeah, so what happened was Trump, Trump, I was a businessman. I was just doing business. He's a businessman. What he allowed was for oil and gas companies to bid on those pieces of land for drilling rights. I don't know if it's drilling specifically to ransack the land and pull oil and gas out of it. What ended up happening was people just didn't bid on it. there was like a divestiture and companies didn't do it. So maybe it was, bipartisan support.
Did you see, by the way, God, I'm not trying to go down some rabbit hole
Let's
here.
do it.
But did you see did you see the stuff going on with ExxonMobil right now about how the hedge fund is pressuring them to pull? I don't want to get this wrong, but basically a hedge fund that has like a majority stake ownership of Exxon is almost to a point where they're getting rid of the board, and so they're forcing new board members to look for
I can't read any of this, but
Yeah.
if you can, it's way too far away.
Yeah, I read it this morning.
Okay, well, give me what's happening?
Long story short, sorry, the details are going to be kind of gray, but basically a hedge fund owns a large stake of the company.
They own everything.
Yeah, and the ExxonMobil, they're pissed about the lack of Exxon's push for greener energy.
Okay.
And so they're getting close to being able to force board members off and then bring in new board members to steer the company.
So this is a hostile takeover?
I don't know.
By the greenies?
I guess. I don't know. I read the article this morning. You've never heard a hedge fund doing that before.
Yeah.
They would do it like you're too green.
Well, so at the end of the day, I mean, hedge funds only care about money.
Yes. Yeah.
And I got to say that I think the tide is turning towards renewable energy and green energy, but only because it's economically viable, not because they give a shit about the earth.
They're just like, no, we can make more money here.
Or if we can make just as much money doing it green, we're going to do that because the public sentiment is so much more positive, especially if you're Exxon and you're just like, one of the biggest oil companies that's ever existed. That's good to hear though. Mm-hmm. So I tried to do about an hour of current events. That was about it. There are more. I had some more stuff on Biden's policy. We'll probably save that for another podcast because there's a great article on okay, what does Biden mean in terms of his effect on the outdoors as a president? Obviously better than Trump, just because Trump was a businessman. If Trump can induce economic expansion, he will. And there is an argument for that, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, no. I was just going to say, I don't, until I see results, I don't trust anybody.
Oh, you shouldn't. You shouldn't trust a damn word these politicians say. Totally agree with you. But at least, generally speaking nowadays, Democrats are more pro land conservation, which this used to not be the case.
See, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that.
Definitely currently. It was not the case historically.
Yeah. I don't
Historically, know. The conservative platform was one of wildlife conservation for a long time.
I still
Trump's like, Arctic, go for it.
I still think that there's probably a solid argument that more public money is raised from outdoorsmen, which may be more conservative.
What do you mean by more public money?
More public funds are raised probably from sportsman related I know there's all these taxes.
What do you mean by public funds?
Public funds for
anything's a public fund.
Yeah,
you're talking about outdoor specific public money?
Yeah, outdoor specific public money that gets pumped in maybe through tax dollars spent or something like that. Because there's laws around certain types of for example, I think it's certain outdoor.
So what you're getting at is you're exactly right. A certain outdoors goods, hunting, fishing goods, there is excise taxes placed on them that go specifically to the outdoors.
Right.
Yes, you are absolutely correct.
So just from people spending money that contributes more directly to the outdoors, maybe there's an argument there. I'm not talking about federal allocation of funds.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about. But yeah, I see what you mean. What you're trying to say is conservative people probably put more money in the conservative fund than liberal people. Is that what you're trying to say?
Maybe.
That's a very political thing for you to say.
I know. I don't have the data to support it, but there are also plenty of more liberal organizations as well.
Yeah, it's just historically conservative. A steward of conservative thought was public land conservation, hunting, fishing, that kind of stuff. I don't think that's gone away. Trump's whole thing, and I don't blame certain aspects of this, was, hey, if nobody's using this land and we can make money off of it and create jobs, like why would we not do that? And there is an argument to be made there.
Have less reliance on
but
other
the
countries.
optics are bad, and the less reliance from an oil standpoint in other countries has been really good. As much as I dislike fossil fuels, the fracking revolution in this country has done really good things in terms of our energy independence, and that's something that environmental groups don't like admitting. Like the fact that we are effectively a net exporter of fossil fuels and not a net importer of fossil fuels is huge in terms of our reliance on certain parts of the world. So that, I think, there's been some good things about the fracking revolution. It does destroy the natural environment. I hate that they try and defend that. Fracking's not that bad.
Yeah, shut up.
No, shut up.
Yeah.
You're drilling. You're drilling into the Earth's crust and extracting stuff out of it. There's going to be an impact, but I don't necessarily disagree with it, because I think, if there's certain parts of the country, the land that we're never going to use, why not extract some amount of natural resource from them if it's a benefit to society? I'm not anti fracking.
I think I go back to my original point though, of like, I don't care where you are politically. I'm pretty sure all people are going to have an uproar if fuel costs go up, natural gas costs go up, and like,
well, so not if you drive an electric car.
I know. But then people are going to, well, what about the fuel and energy costs to make that car and all that crap?
Well, one thing, while we're getting political, one thing I can't stand is when people blame current gas prices on the political administration. Like literally, that's not correlated at all. Like Joe Biden is not the reason gas is above $3. There are supply shortages, and now that people are traveling more, usage of gas is going way up and supply is not. So that's what's causing the increase in gas prices. And guess what? It's only going to get worse. As travel opens back up again, you're going to see fuel costs even rising. That'll be reflected in airline ticket prices, price at the pump. It sucks. I don't know what to say about it. Get a hybrid.
It goes back to my age-old point. Everybody wants to be gluten-free until you go eat pizza.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with you. Gas prices will cause an uproar. Yeah. I get that. And it's a legitimate cost. Gas is something everybody pays for. 99.9% of people pay for gasoline. And when the cost of gas goes up, it hurts everybody. I get that. Yeah. But it's not tied to who the president is at all. And if anything, it's more tied to the state you live in, potentially, and the gas tax you're paying. If you knew that. Did you know we pay a gas tax here in Ohio? Most states you do.
Yeah, and you get penalized for not paying a gas tax.
Don't even get me started on how much that pisses me off.
I know, that's the dumbest thing ever.
That's something Ohio is just ass backwards with, but I don't want to. We've already gotten way more political than we normally get on one of these. All right. Anything else you want to talk about? That's all. That's all I had. 6 or 7 stories. Most of them revolving around death. There was a nice one there at the end, though, with.
If you're gonna go solo hiking in the Sierra by yourself, just take a spot.
I say if you go solo overnight hiking anywhere, you should consider a GPS device.
Yeah. Well, something that can.
If you know you're not going to have cell, if you're going somewhere and you have cell service, don't worry about it.
Well, here's the interesting thing: like, take a GPS device that you can also use like an SOS beacon on.
When I say GPS device, I mean that. Okay. I do not mean a cell phone. I mean an SOS beacon. A GPS device is worthless if you can't communicate with it. Definitely. I meant to clear that up. Yeah, we got ours. Can you see it on the stream? Up there? No. Oh, you can't. Got our Garmin in reach. All right. We will be off next week.
We got stuff to do.
The week after that, the first week of June, we will be back, loaded up with guests, ready to attack the summer.
Just as we fired up the chat, lots of opinions going on.
Really?
Talk amongst yourselves.
Do we drop a lot of political things in
there?
No,
the best is like we keep going. And this is how we feel. We don't we're pretty down the middle on a lot of this type of stuff.
We're like most people.
Yeah, like 99% of I don't know.
I think most people, you're going to be liberal on a few things, you're going to be conservative on a few things, and then the vast majority of issues, you're going to fall somewhere on a spectrum of a little bit liberal, a little bit conservative.
Yeah.
That's how we are. We're obviously, when it comes to the outdoors and conservation of the outdoors, it's something we're insanely, quote unquote, liberal on because we're pro conservation of the outdoors. But when it comes to things like tax policy, things like that, I'm a little bit more conservative right there. And then I'm just like hardcore libertarian on a few things. So I'm all over the place. Are there any comments you want to discuss?
No.
Okay. All right, everybody. This has been fun. Thank you all for listening.
Yeah.
We'll be back to the Friday cadence. It's just this whole month, the Fridays for both of us were schedule wise, we're not happening. So we'll be doing these Wednesday, Thursday ones, but we'll be off next week. The week after that, I imagine we'll be back to the Friday cadence. We got some guests lined up.
Yep.
We got some fun things to do.
We
got some trips lined up.
We've been talking a lot about Bigfoot, but maybe we should start switching to UFOs.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about that.
Or
UFOs
or UAPs.
UAPs are real, folks. If you don't know what we're talking about, this is a hilarious thing Trump did.
Well, hold on a second. And by the way, I think I also want to say, like, when you say
aliens are real, nobody cares.
No.
Nobody seems to care that there is technology out in the sky. We have legitimate military vetted footage of technology. We don't know what the hell it is.
Right.
And nobody cares.
And if you don't want to like buy into the alien argument, that's fine.
You don't have to.
Just buy into
it's even scarier if it's not aliens.
Just buy into the argument that nobody knows what it is.
If it's not aliens and it's something that Russia or China has, and if you've seen these videos, please do some Googling. They are footage from Navy fighter pilots of these. There's so many of them. The government is declassifying them June 1st. Do you know that was in the COVID bill, right?
Yeah. They paid
Trump?
In the COVID bill was they paid to have a research completed.
No, the COVID bill, Trump put this in the COVID bill. I love it. He said, COVID stimulus, you're declassifying everything you know about UFOs.
Well, I know part of the COVID bill too also included funding for like a third party report.
Whatever.
To present
June
Congress.
1st, it's coming out.
Yeah.
June 1st, everything the government has ever had on UFOs is being declassified. Supposedly, I'm sure like the really cool stuff they're not going to leak. But you can go out and watch these videos and it's not nonsense. This is the military is releasing these videos and saying, we don't know what the hell this stuff is. The propulsion systems, the way these things are moving is unlike any technology we've ever seen. Like, this is real life and nobody seems to care.
No, I think a lot of people care now.
Nobody's talking about it.
Are you kidding me? There was a whole 60 minutes on it. There was a huge thing.
It's starting to gain traction.
Yeah.
Either way, it's scary. If it's aliens, if it's aliens, it's a little scary, right? I mean, if you've seen the Tic Tac footage.
There's way more than the Tic Tac.
The way these things are moving, the propulsion systems they're using, it is not a conventional combustion style propulsion.
Well, that's the whole thing. They don't know what even, like, it's hard. You can't even say propulsion system. You just don't know.
Well, I mean, it's moving.
Yeah, it's moving.
So there's some sort of propulsion.
You don't know.
You don't know. But if it's not aliens, then some government or some crazy inventor has some technology. You know what no one's talking about that I think is a legitimate possibility?
They're just badass seagulls.
No, they're people from the future. Why aren't people discussing that? I mean, I gotta feel like that is legitimately as likely as an advanced alien race.
Anything's likely.
All I'm saying is this stuff is real, people. The government admits it. They're releasing footage left and right. In June, they're going to release everything they have. And I want to believe. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's aliens.
Most people could at least agree. Like, you don't have to go to the alien consensus.
Right,
you just have to go to, like, it's not issues with the sensors.
It is not. It is not. I'm sick of hearing, it's a flock of seagulls on the radar for them. No, it's not. It's some sort of craft that's doing stuff that we can't understand.
Yep. So
and it's happening a lot. And
over the years,
it's happened a lot over the years. There's a lot of recordings of it. It's not just one area. It's not just one type of craft. You know, another thing what if they call ultra terrestrial? Did you listen to that, Joe Rogan?
No.
Like, what if it's crafts that have been here for a long time? Like, think about it. If you're an alien race, I'm going to throw out drones to all these planets and just have them bury themselves there and just sit around. And then they'll come up at some point and come out. What if it's that? I don't know. Personally, I got to think statistically what's the highest likelihood of what this stuff is. And I got to think the most probable outcome is it's not aliens.
Well, it's like that argument of like, this is really weird. Like, prove that God doesn't exist.
Right. It's hard. You can't. You can't. Right.
And so like, you got to keep everything on the table. You got to keep all theories on the table. So,
and then like, do you think we'll know what they are sometime in our lifetime?
I don't know.
I mean, have you seen the videos?
Yeah, I've seen them all.
The way these things are moving, and what's more like chilling to me.
I love the selfie pics of like the flying like pyramid from the fighter pilots. Yeah.
Yeah. The crazier thing to me is honestly the more damning piece of evidence is listening to the fighter pilots talk about it.
Yeah.
It's one thing for me to watch a heads-up display of an F-18.
Yeah.
But it's another thing for someone who's an expert at the top of their field talk to me about this and be like,
I like how they were saying, like, have you watched the 60 Minutes where they interview more pilots?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And they like talk about how like they were like being a little unprofessional but then they go to the pilot. It's like, holy shit, what the hell is that?
Yeah, I know. Listening to these, like, and these are not like, these are advanced naval aviators, like Top Gun level fighter pilots. Listening to them talk about how these things move in relation to their expertise on like aeronautics, it's chilling. I mean, we got to stop talking about this. These crafts are moving unlike anything that we've ever seen. And hearing a fighter pilot tell that to you is like much more impactful than me just watching some video. So if you're curious about this, go listen to the fighter pilots.
Go watch the 60 Minutes. It's a good kind of high level overview.
Anyway, aliens are real. The other thing is like nobody seems to care.
No.
If you go to CNN or Fox News, no one's talking about this.
I actually disagree.
Really?
I think it's gotten way more mainstream.
Well, it's gotten way more mainstream, but this should be the only thing anyone's talking about in my mind. I mean, honestly,
a lot of people care. They got a lot of funding.
This is, if it's not aliens, some government has war-fighting technology that is magnitudes better than anything we've ever had. And that is dangerous to us, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's like our government. Maybe we have it.
That's the thing. Everything's on the table.
What if it's people from the future?
Everything.
It would make sense.
How do you
that people from the future would come back?
You can't disprove anything.
I can disprove the fact that people don't believe that these things are real and it's happening.
Yeah, people need to.
I think the video data we have and the firsthand pilot testimony, people are like, oh no, it's not happening. I think we can disprove that it's happening. I don't know what's going to happen.
This just means Meldrum was right about everything.
I mean, but how crazy it is that we live in an era where we could see aliens being confirmed. I mean, that's on the table. It's not likely, but it's on the table. More so than it's ever been.
Yeah. I think what's on the table is that there's just a big mystery that needs more data and research.
And, you know, honestly, at least we're taking it seriously now. And it's not just like fighter pilots being made fun of for seeing this. At least like we're acknowledging that we're seeing stuff out there. We don't know what it is. And let's at least expend some effort trying to determine what it is.
Yeah.
So, okay. More to come.
It's a popular thing now because, I mean, Congress is pushing a little bit more for it because, like, honestly.
And the Republicans are, which I love.
Everybody is. The voter base wants it.
Well, I want to know.
I know, exactly.
I mean, if aliens are real, think about what that does to religion. Religion's done.
No, it doesn't. That just that proves a lot of different.
It disproves a lot of mainstream religion.
It's just no. The way religion will work is it'll just transform.
They'll BS like, oh, God created aliens too. You know, they'll word around it. I know, but I think I want to say that, but maybe I feel like we could just confirm aliens exist and nobody cares.
Like, oh yeah,
okay, cool. You got a flying Tic Tac. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's like some of the famous footage.
Yeah.
All right, I could go deep on this for hours. All right. Check out some of the UFO stuff. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Anything else?
No, let's end that.
Done? Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. Yep. Bye-bye. Bye.